This video is about the special snap points available in ArchiCAD. These special snap points are basically small points that ArchiCAD creates for you on edges of elements in order to help you in your element creation and modification. The standard toolbar, you have this button. This is called the special snap points button. And if you click it to enable it, then this special snap point feature will be working. And for example, right now it is set to half, which means that it will find the half point of an edge of an element. For example, if I go here, it will find for me the halving point of this element. And this can be useful. For example, I want to place this toilet at the halving point of this wall. Or there are various options, for example, divisions. So if I want to place 2 at the third of the wall, 2/3 of the wall, I can place them easily. A third option is the percent option. This is set to 20% at the moment. If I go to this set special values dialog, here is where I can set these values. For example, let's set 40 for percent and click OK. So right now, if I move my cursor over the edge of this wall, it will show this 40% point, and I can place my object there. Now here is an important thing about the percent thing, is that it will measure the percent from the edge of the element, or from the end of the element that is closer to the place where I moved over the element. So if I move it here, that's closer to the right end of the element, so it will measure the 40% from the right. But if I move, let's wait until it disappears. If I move my cursor here, then it's closer to the left end of the element, so it will measure the 40% from the left. So this is an important thing when using the percent variation of this, and I can place my element there. And the fourth option is the distance. Let me show another thing here. So let's say I want to place this tree, and an important thing is that these special snap points work not only on straight edges, they work on curved edges, like on arcs and circles, and they work even on splines. So for example, let's say I want to place trees along this arc at, let's say, every 5 meters. So I set my special snap point distance value to 5,000. Sorry. And I want to start from here, and I can just take these snap points and click them. See, this is an interesting thing that just happened, because the snap point has disappeared, and now I'm closer to the right side, the right end, than to the left end, so it starts measuring from the right end, as you can see. So in this case, what I have to do is a tricky one. I move it to here, so it measures from the left side, or left end, and then I click. So it's a little bit tricky. And as you could see, if I move my cursor above the element, the special snap points appear, but if I don't do anything, after a while they disappear, as if I have moved my cursor away from the element. So, and as you can see, I can do the same thing on a spline as well. So all kinds of element edges can be used. Okay, let's go back to our previous place. I want to show you something that I many times use. For example, when I have to place doors, the door always has to be a certain distance from any adjoining wall. So in that case, for example, I set my special snap point distance value to 100, and I can just quickly place my doors, and I don't have to measure them from the adjoining wall. They will be 100 millimeters from it. There's another setting about the special snap points that is important, and this is here. It's whether the special snap point should be measured along the entire element or between intersection points. Let's see what the difference is. Here, now it is set to along entire element. So if, for example, I want to take the halving point of this wall, as you can see, the wall is this long. If I move to one of its edges, I'm sorry, I just turned it off. If I move to these edges, it will find the halving point of the entire element. Now, if I switch to the between intersection points option, then it will find any intersection of that edge with any other element edges. For example, here is this upper edge of this wall, and this edge intersects it, this edge intersects it, this edge, and so on. Now if I move my cursor here, it will find the two closest intersections, and it will take that part of the edge, and it will show the special snap point only on that part of the edge. So right now the halving point is the halving point between the two adjoining walls. So for example, here, if I want to place my toilets into these cubicles, then with this later option it is easier to do. If I had this along entire element option activated, then I move my cursor here and the special snap point appears here. It doesn't appear between the intersection points. One more thing I want to show is that the special intersection points can be used very well along with guidelines. For example, let's say that I'm saying that I want to place this basin. Here is this area that is occupied by the toilet, so I have this much area left. I want to place the basin in about half or half of this distance. So what I can do is I turn on my guidelines and I say, so let's create this guideline segment. And now with the between intersection point option, here it shows me the halving point between the wall, the adjoining wall, and the guideline. And I can place my basin here. And as soon as I finished creating my element, the guideline disappeared because I don't need it anymore. So special snap points and guidelines can be used in conjunction with each other in creation and modifications of elements. So special snap points is a very useful tool in element creation.